Hello, it's Melinda. This is week 3 of Scrapmazing September. This is our third Sunday, and Eileen and I are doing Scraplift Sunday every Sunday this month. And today we are scrap lifting this layout. I was drawn by the cleanness of this layout, the white, but I want to take this in a different direction. Her frames on hers are very dimensional and thick, and I do enough thick stuff on my layouts that I can't do that. I do find this very beautiful, and I do not have very many word stamps and whatnot, so I know that I don't have enough stamps to make this look right. So what I've chosen to do with this in mind is I have this paper, and I don't know who it's by. I want to say it's by Dear Lizzie, but I don't know. The manufacturer's been cut off. But I like the bright colors of this and the words. I've cut a heart on my silhouette, just a random heart that I had in my library, so I don't know if I drew it up or if it was part of something else I got. It's just in my library. And I'm going to keep everything on the same side like that layout, only because that's kind of how I work. I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm going to stick it here. I'm going to stitch around it. And I picked out colored frames, smaller sizes that matched the colors in the background paper. And then I have this thinner one that has Love Lives Here, it's little houses, all in kind of the same color family. And I thought that I printed pictures to fit some of the frames of the kids and my husband and I to go along with the family theme. And we're going to put these in the frames. I pulled out a flare that has the same colors in it. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. My thought is that to get this shape like that it's stamped, instead of it being all over, that I might take my white gesso and paint off some of the words so that it kind of mimics the shape of the heart. We will see. I don't have another sheet of this that I'm aware of, so if it goes all astray, I might just have to live with it. But without further ado, I will stick you on fast forward so that you can watch this occur. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the other side. Bye. I'm going to clear the decks here and figure out kind of where I want the paint to go. I'm going to put a light pencil mark and kind of just draw it. I follow it slightly, but I don't erase my pencil marks. I kind of just go over them. I want to keep kind of the shape of the heart. And this is just white gesso. And I believe 3 different coats. I figured I better put a mat down because I'm going to be going off the page. Just a semi-wide brush, and I'm putting it on sort of thick, and I don't plan on drying it with the heat gun because I'd like it to dry as flat as possible since there's so much. I decided at the last minute to add the little pieces at the side, the left side and the top. And like I said, I did this multiple times throughout the day. Just let it sit and dry. And then I had the task of really cleaning my mat because I let the paint dry on it. I'm going to use my fingers so I can soften the brush strokes at the edge. I kind of want it just to fade in, you can still see some of the letters through the gesso. So by no means did it completely cover it, but it definitely gives you a cloud-like effect. I didn't make you watch me cleaning the mat because it was rough going. I'm going to go stitch that, and the magic of TV, ta-da, it's back. I used a really thick embroidery thread. I thought about folding it over. It would have worked, except for I want to peel up the edges. So I'm going to just put a strip of washi tape on the edge to catch the stitching and just cut it with my knife. And now I can take my bone folder and fold up the edges and wrinkle them up a little bit to give it some dimension. I'm just going to kind of squish the edges so it doesn't look pristine. I'm going to rough cut the photos because I'm going to put them behind the frame. I need something to glue them to the frame, so I'm leaving a little bit extra. I'll cut it as I put them in the frame. I do it both ways, where I put adhesive on the frame and then just lay it on top of the photo. And I've also done it where I have taped the photo. This seems easier than taping the photo. I should have used the pink frame for this photo, because now I'm stuck with two yellow because I ended up not using the pink one. I thought about printing another photo of maybe the dogs, but all three dogs wouldn't fit in one little small frame. So my dilemma is to arrange this so that the two yellows aren't near each other. I'm going to go down this rabbit hole here. This is thin, so I want to prop this up. I end up nixing this frame for another one, but I'm still glad that I made this thicker. It'll be useful for another layout. I'm just trying to rearrange them before I stick them down. This is basically how it's going to stay, except I'm going to take that frame out and add a different one. I'm going to trap this doily down to a sliver so that I can go in there and not stick out too far. I didn't want it to go into the white. That one ends up being crooked. I fix it, don't worry. And that's a purple tab from a little pile on my desk. How would the frame come about? I was looking for other things to add and I found it. And I liked it better. But I was looking for just ephemera to tuck in around the frames. So then I'm going to put fun foam on this one so that it props up and is not flat. This one's curvy. It adds a little bit, it's not straight edges, so I like the change, and this is where I'll add the journaling, so it will sort of stand out a little bit more. That was my thought process. In this little bowl, I also have some thin wood veneers that I got from the Gossamer Blue warehouse sale before they closed. And I'm trying to think of what I'm going to put in here for a title. This one says "Love This Life," and that works. And I lay these on here, but those don't stay. But these tabs do, and I have 2 of them left, so I'm going to use them. I like the idea of having that on the layout, but I don't like it for a title. It doesn't fit well on that frame. And I'm pulling out. This is another part of the Gossamer Blue little warehouse box I got. And it's a little rainbow tag that says "Wonderful." Still thinking. I'm thinking that these little sheets, and I think they're a Jen Hatfield 6x6 paper pad, but I'm not sure which line. And they're just like little cut aparts. And I like the words on that one, but it's yellow. and I don't want to add any more yellow to this. So I'm still trying to use this frame, and I think this is where I realize that the frame's not going to work. It happens to be the pink color, but I don't like it that way. And if that were a bigger sheet of paper, I would just use that. So that got me thinking. If I just grab a scrap piece of paper and nix the frame, I don't like the solid black, but I like black in it. So I'm going to grab some scraps. That's too crazy. Draws too much attention away from the frames, is my thought. Normally I love myself a good stripy outline. And I realized that was really not centered. So then this, oh bliss, I like this one. It's just got enough black that it draws your attention but not overpowers the layout. And that's where that's going to live, is up there. So this is going to lay flat. The background is. I'm not going to pop it up, but I did pop up the words, so it still has dimension. I'm just looking for anything more. I'm debating on whether I want that purple there. And that got me thinking, something behind these words so they stand out. Do I want this frame? Just digging through that little pile of stuff. And then I think, you know what? I have black scraps. I just want the words to stick out a little bit, and that also brings in a little bit more black. I debated not using the purple tab, but it didn't. I like the fact that it had purple. I'm just going to do a little bit of lines in pencil, and then I realize I'm going to put that wonderful there, so I need to figure that out and erase the lines there so that I do not write where those are. It helps to think ahead. The journaling says, I can't think of a better place to be but with you all. Love our crazy life. And I just write it in pencil, and then I write over it with one of my Stettler fine line markers in black. And then I just erase all the lines and whatnot. I often add a little heart to the end of my journaling. I'm going to try to use wet glue, and it has been working. I can also slide this around a little bit if it needs to be moved, because right now it's touching the greenish blue frame. Yeah. So I'm glad I used the wet glue. I'm going to staple those and then just glue everything down. Adhere that down. It's a little warped, not bad, but a little bit. I'm going to show you the close-ups. There are plenty of still shots at the end. I will link Eileen's video for today below. If you haven't checked her out, please do. And if you're new here, a late welcome, but welcome. If you like what you see, subscribe. I try to do at least a video a week, if not more. Thanks for watching. Bye.